Gavin Newsom whines to Joe Biden about misinformation. It's very rich. Lest we forget, this is the same guy who's telling you that you are not essential. I got to live through it out here in California. If you are not essential, then you can't go out to visit loved ones or friends. You can't go out to eat. And then, of course, he went out to eat at the French Laundry. And if you're not familiar with the French Laundry, it's like $1,000 a person for their coveted meals. Very, very odd of him to be that guy. Of course, he's going to whine about misinformation. This guy is one of the kings of misinformation. He's a liar. He's a scumbag. And now he's whining to another liar and scumbag. Watch.
I ask you, we've got to deal with this misinformation. There are hurricane force winds of mis and disinformation lies. People want to divide this country, and we're going to have to address that as well. And it breaks my heart as people are suffering and struggling that we're up against those hurricane forces as well. And that's just a point of personal privilege that I share that with you because it infects real people that are out there, people I meet every single day, people the mayor's been meeting with, and they're having conversations that are not the typical conversations you'd have at this time, and you wonder where this stuff comes from, and it's very damaging as well. But we're here to get the job.
Here's the scummiest thing I think I've ever heard from Gavin Newsom before. While the city, his people, are still burning, the fires are still raging, his biggest concern is the narrative. That's it. All he is doing here is setting the stage to be able to have a scapegoat for his own failures, for the Democrat Party's failures in California. That's it. They're going to be trying to scream, oh, climate change, misinformation, climate change and misinformation. It's all about climate change and misinformation. No, it's not, because we are just awful at leading a nation or leading a state or leading a city. They are, of course, awful at leading nations, states, and cities, but they know there's enough stupid people out there who will still say, oh, okay, so it was misinformation. Ah, God, it must have been misinformation that they diverted funds away from the fire department. It must have been misinformation that they diverted water into the ocean for the sake of a fish. That must have been misinformation. Gavin said it was misinformation. I say it often, I am, in many ways, I'm stuck out here. And in many ways, it's a blessing to be out here. I'm stuck because of circumstance, but it's a blessing because, well, there are some great things about California, but it's also a blessing because I have the opportunity to hopefully change some hearts and minds, to get some people to turn this state, this once beautiful state, into a purple and possibly even a red state. I think it's possible. I really do. Especially, during events like these, when it's clear, it's blatant, it's obvious that this is based, this tragedy has been pushed because of Democrat failures. I'm not talking about who started what or anything about wins. I'm talking about the fact that they could have and should have been able to dramatically mitigate the damage done, to stop these fires in their tracks before they were able to become infernos, before they could devastate thousands of houses, kill at least 10 people, take the entire city, bring it to the brink of collapse, because that's really where we stand right now. I don't know what the future holds for California or for Los Angeles specifically, but I do know that it's clear that the Democrats are to be blamed for the lack of preparedness and the unwillingness to do what was necessary to protect their citizens. I just pray that more of my fellow Californians are able to use this as a reason to wake up. It's not like they're not waking up. They've known. They just stick their heads in the sand because it's more convenient to be woke than to be right. It's easier to be a Democrat than to be a Republican. It's easier to support Gavin Newsom and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris than to support Donald Trump or any lucid people, namely mostly Republicans. But is the easy way out the best way? 9 times out of 10, absolutely not. And I would say that supporting Democrats in the state of California is one of the worst methods or worst ways to take the easy way out. We need to make the hard choice. And the choice must be to abandon the Democrat Party. And I'm not saying you have to go jump all over the Republicans. The GOP in California is to the left of the the Democrats in Oklahoma. Okay, I'm not crazy about our Republicans out here, but they're still head and shoulders above the lunacy of the Democrats. And we'll see how long this lasts. We'll see if California does wake up or if it's just lost. Because here's the thing. At this stage, at this point, after so many years and decades under Democrat rule, if Californians don't wake up and make changes immediately, there won't be a California for much longer. And that's not hyperbole. Let's spread the truth together. You can connect with me on X at JD Rucker, or you could subscribe to my Rumble channel, jdrucker.com/rumble, jdrucker.com/rumble.